Tonight, the healthcare debate. Reaction from locals as the Supreme Court gets ready to rule on the Affordable Health Care Act.
This is News 3 at 6 with Gerard Romallo.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll get to those stories in just a moment, but I've just been handed a piece of breaking news here. NV Energy is currently working to restore power to about 2,200 customers. This is in the area of Charleston Boulevard and Sloan Lane. The cause of the power outage undetermined at this time, but as you can imagine, in days where we've got extreme heat like today, people want that air conditioning restored as soon as possible. So we'll continue to update this story throughout the evening. Meantime, this could be a very important week for the Obama administration. The Supreme Court will rule on the Affordable Care Act, the administration's signature piece of legislation. The outcome could potentially change the lives of every American and will be a major factor in the presidential race. News 3's Paul Matadine has been out getting local response to the pending decision. He joins us live now from the Strip. Paul, the people that you spoke with, we should say that we should all be preparing for rising costs if the court rules in favor of the Affordable Health Care Act.
That's correct, Gerard. And the reason we are out on the Strip is because the National Association of Healthcare Underwriters are having their annual convention right behind me here at the Wynn, and that is exactly what they told me when I spoke to them this afternoon. I want to go over some details about what we will see happen over the next few days with you here. It's somewhat complicated, but we're trying to break it down here. First of all, the U.S. Supreme Court holding in its figurative hands elements of the Affordable Health Care Act that the president pushed through Congress, like young adults under 26 staying on their family's health care plan. Also, the new rules that insurance companies can no longer take away coverage if you become sick or impose lifetime dollar limits on essential benefits like hospital care. Here's another one. Right now, based on the act, insurance companies can't deny coverage to children under 19 for pre-existing health conditions. And perhaps the most controversial part of this law, which still hangs in limbo, is the individual mandate stating that starting in 2014, the law will require that everyone buy health insurance or face a fine. Again, the U.S. Supreme Court will decide if all of these points are constitutional and remain law, likely coming up this week. I asked a representative of the National Association of Health Underwriters at their convention here what that could mean for you, the consumer. Well, this is what they had to say.
What it means is that health insurance premiums are going to go up. The problem in this country is not our health insurance. It's certainly not health care. We have the best health care in the world. The problem is the cost of health insurance. Health insurance is expensive because health care is expensive.
And to play on that, I spoke to a local physician today. She told me that what this act will do is impose a lot of restrictions, meaning that you won't be able to have the variety of healthcare options you have. Of course, this is an issue with a lot of sides, something that we will continue to cover for you. For now, we're live here on the Strip. I'm Paul Matadine. Gerard, back to you.
Well, regardless of the outcome, we will all be affected in some way, Paul. We will continue to follow this. Thanks for that update. The decision, by the way, on the Affordable Care Act isn't the only landmark ruling we're expecting this week.